Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who will teach well. Salutation to you, Akim, preaching his truth and sincerity, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. Shalom to the elect, the hopeful elect. Shalom to the few sisters listening and learning in silence. I'm Mashiach from the camp Children of the Light, back at you with a lesson. And I'm gonna go ahead and borrow some flavor from one of the brothers in the camp, one of my teachers, and my brother Karat. He got this long running series. It's like lesson on Eve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm just gonna borrow his flavor and do just Eve being Eve part 1 and then continue 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's just easier that way. But this is gonna be on Eve stinking ass, so let's go ahead and get right into it.
Guys, bitches. I was sent the video earlier and the girl said, who are going to be the women? And I was like, she's absolutely right. You cigarette pissy smelling ass bitches are horrible. You are the worst set of fucking females produced in centuries. You are the absolute worst. You don't smell good. You don't look good. We having to check birth certificates to make sure you was actually a woman because you straight nigga bitches now. You bitches are smoking cigarettes, vaping, doing boy drugs. What would possess you bitches to pop a fucking perk? Why would you do that? You guys are not feminine at all. And I'm just a girl. No, bitch. The amount of testosterone pumping through y'all fucking bodies, I don't understand it. When did it become cool to be a nigga bitch? I'm not gonna lie. You motherfuckers are straight tomboy nigga bitches. There is nothing feminine about you. There is not a goddamn thing feminine about you bitches. And I'm like, okay, y'all, what do y'all want? Like, what the fuck do y'all want? Why are y'all so hell-bent on being men? That doesn't even make sense. Like, you have all the rights you need to just stay a feminine woman. I don't understand it. It is the most confusing shit in the world. Like, you bitches really be bucking up on men. You bitches really don't fucking listen. You bitches don't cook. You bitches don't clean. All y'all do is lay on your fucking back and make multiple fucking babies with multiple fucking men. That's the only thing you bitches are good for, is populating the fucking world. And y'all kids bad as fuck. We don't even want them here. That's how fucking crazy it is. We prefer if you didn't do it. It's like, oh my God. I just don't understand it. I do not understand where this behavior came from. Do y'all not got grandmas or something? I am just so fucking confused by it. And like the girl said, who the fuck are going to be the women? That's what we need. We need some fucking women, not these weird shit people that y'all got going on. We don't want that no more. Can we just try like a little harder? Like, just give it a little try to be submissive, sweet, and smell good. That's all we're saying. Like, just try.
And there you have it. So, shout out to this beautiful Israelite woman right here, right? Look like she, well, we'll get into that later. But, what does the scripture say? She has an unction, right? But according to knowledge or something like that, because she touched a lot of curses, right? That was placed on the woman, right? The Israelite woman. And, that goes to, the Judite woman, as well as the women of Ephraim and, the northern kingdom as well, because they're Israelite women and they are under the curses as well. And one of the things she said I like is that's right. These women have taken on masculine spirits. Everything they do to emulate and imitate what men do. Men usually go to the club and they're looking for a fat ass at the club. But now it's women. They go to the club and they look for a fat ass. And they look for other women to touch on and dance on each other. It's really women that go outside looking to be sexual and to sexualize other women. Right? They do drugs that men normally, right? She's boy drugs. Most women ain't really popping pills and stuff for the Edomite women in the suburbs, because their parents have a cabinet full of pills and nobody's never home. So they get addicted to opioids and, prescription drugs. But let's go ahead and get into some scriptures, right? So let's go ahead and start with Genesis chapter 3. And let's go down to 15. Let's see how we got here. Okay, so Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, well, 15 is really, the start of the curses that the Most High put on the women for a reason, right? Because it was Eve that was deceived and not the man. Nowhere in Genesis chapter 3 or in the book do you read the serpent spoke to the man. No, because the serpent knew that the man was going to be in perfect order. He's going to follow the instructions. So it's the woman he went and spoke to, right? Because she's the weaker vessel. He knew that he could beguile her, which he did. And because the nature of women is to be ambitious, they naturally want to usurp authority and assume the position of the person in charge. But it's not in their nature. And we see why. Because they're so wise, they're foolish. Thinking they're always the smartest in the room, but they're always tricked the most and blame someone else. And you see it today, where women, they have all these master degrees, and somebody that didn't even graduate high school tricked them out of their panties, their car, their credit, their home, and they mama life insurance policy, right? Okay, cool. Let's get into it. So at this point, Eve consumed the apple, did what she wasn't supposed to do. Adam also consumed it. So we're going to jump right down to the curses. Genesis 3 and 15. This is the Lord speaking. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. And this is why women have pain during childbirth. It's part of your curse. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, right? And women want to tell you, a lot of women will tell you there is nothing more painful than childbirth. And there's nothing more dangerous than childbirth, and because they can lose their life. And, the medical system is to the Judite woman what prison is to the Judite man, right? Black women have the highest mortality rate during childbirth, okay? In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That's right. This is why it was established where you have Yahweh Shah as the head, and then Yahweh Shah is the head of the man is the head of the woman is the head of the children, right? The desires of the woman shall be to the husband, because if her desires are to her own, she does what? She goes off. So that's why when you give your woman instructions, she's supposed to follow them out. What you tell her to do, she's supposed to do it. Her desires are your desires because she is a help mate. She is here to help you, not lead you. That's why she should never be in front of you. Her desires are yours to serve your will, and your desires is of Yahweh Shah to serve his will. So we have the order. And to Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife. It doesn't say because you also ate of the tree, right? No, it says because you have hearkened unto the voice of thy wife. So let's look into that word hearkened.
Strong's H 8085. Shammah. And second entry, Shammah.
All right, let's get into it. It's a verb, to hear, to listen, but in this instant, to obey. To obey, right? Because he heard her and he listened to her, right? But he obeyed, he followed, right? After Eve, right? And it wasn't a physical piece of fruit that was eaten, right? So that's another thing, right? Okay, right. So what is it saying? Because Adam listened to his woman, right? He was wrong. This is why you're not supposed to be listening to your woman. You're supposed to be, as is the man, first and foremost, you always follow Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, right? Because that's our husband. We are his brides. He is the head of us. See, everything in natural order. As long as you are doing the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, you can't go off. And if your woman is doing your will, she won't go off. So we have that order. Okay. And it says, right, unto Adam, because thou hast hearkened, because thou hast listened to the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of thee. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. This is why it's very important to be a man, you know? And the same spirit that was on Eve in the garden is on the same women today, right? Because if you scroll up, Eve was ambitious, that she wanted wisdom. Let me find that. Let me find it. Okay, right. Here it is, right? Genesis 3:4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. You know what? Yeah, I'll start here. You can read on them. I'll start here. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. See, Eve's place and position wasn't good enough for her, right? What she had wasn't good enough. She had to have more, right? And this is how the serpent beguiled her, right? She wanted to be as the Alahayim, as the Most High, knowing good and evil. Because if you ask me today, I didn't know any of this. I'm gonna stay in my place, right? But they say ignorant is bliss, right? Ignorant is bliss. Okay. And there was one more I wanted to point out. See, this what happened when you don't write it down. I saw it. And I was like, dang, that's a good point. But I didn't write it down. And you know what? Yeah, I wish I blocked it out of my brain, so we're gonna move on. Right. Okay, so we got that set up. So going back into 17, right? And unto Adam he said, because thou hearken unto the voice of thy wife. So from there we gonna jump. Let's go to 1 Tim 2:24, 14. Okay. This is 1 Tim 2:13. No, here we go. 1 Tim 2:11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjugation. Subjugation, that's right. Let her be silent. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but be in silence. Because why was this said? This was said because of what we seen happen to Eve. Right? And because the Lord cursed Adam for doing what? Listening to his wife. Right? So I suffered the woman not to teach nor usurp authority, because we see from the beginning of time, the woman was an ambitious creature. Right? Adam was simple. Adam was okay doing what he wanted to do. He was okay doing what he was told to do. He was okay with his position. He was okay with his God, his authority, his power being over him. For Adam was formed first, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. The serpent never spoke to Adam. See, because at this point, the serpent became Eve's husband. And the serpent spoke to Adam through Eve. All right. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness and sobriety. Sobriety of the scriptures, sobriety of the doctrine, not being drunken on different doctrines, fornicating with different cultures and gods and religions and ideology, but being sober in the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. right? So that's why it says, right? That's why it gives pure instructions, but also at the time when when Paul was writing to Timothy, right? I believe this is the church of Ephesus. They were, yes, the church of Ephesus. At the church of Ephesus, they were worshiping the Queen of Heaven. They were worshiping Diana, right? So Paul was writing Timothy to give him instructions to establish the church. Let's see if we can go into that a little bit more real quick. Okay, the temple of Diana, or Artemis in the Bible, featured in Acts 19, where it is described as magnificent, blah, blah, blah. Ephesus, central to local pagan worship and the economy, Paul the Apostle, preaching against idolatry, caused a riot led by silversmiths who made shrines of the goddess. That's right. Before they set up the church of Ephesus, right, they were worshiping the Queen of Heaven and Diana. Right? So when Paul is writing to Timothy, he's giving him instructions. When Paul is sending Timothy these epistles, he's telling him how to set it up, right? Hey, yo, don't have them bitches in there talking, usurping authority, because they're already giving offerings and praying to their false idol Diana, right, at the church. Right? Again, usurping authority, trying to change their position because these women have penis envy, right? They got they have all of the freedom in the world. These modern day women, I mean, but they have penis envy. The final thing that they want that they can't have is a penis and the balls that come with it, because that's really what they want. They want to reverse the roles. They really want to be the men, and they're envious of it, right? And Esau was doing a beautiful job fanning that fire, but it's only because the Lord allows him, right? In conjunction with the curses that are put on our people, right? Because so the curses are one thing, but Esau's doctrine, right? His social conditioning, his feminism, it fuels that. Okay. All right. Now, from there, let's jump, because we left off Timothy, right? And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. And what these scriptures tell us. So we're gonna go to Sirach 25:24. Right. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. What does Genesis tell us? Right? Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord, which is Yahweh, right, the Father, the Most High, had made. And he said unto the woman, the serpent, Yea, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat it, neither shall touch it, lest ye die. And this is how sin entered the world. Okay? Because what is sin? Sin is transgression. Transgression of the law. Anything that the Most High commands is the law. So here we have the beginning of sin. This is Sirach 25:24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, as Adam died because he hearkened unto the woman. Give the water no passage. Right? Give the water no passage. Give it no way to flow. Pretty much. That's why the desire of the woman should be to the man. Neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. That's me. Don't get no wicked woman the ability to go around talking and shit. Gadding abroad. Okay. Now, and again, the sister said a lot of things.
And here I go thinking I'm the only person disappointing you punk ass bitches. I was sent the video earlier and the girl said, who are going to be the women? And I was like, she's absolutely right. You cigarette pissy smelling ass bitches are horrible.
That's right. Let's get into why they ass stink. Okay. Let's get into why they stink. See, because it's the curses, man. Isaiah 3:24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be a stink. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna jump up I'm starting at 3:16 and jump down. Judah's women denounced. Moreover, the Lord, all caps, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched fork necks, right? Bitches head held too high, think too highly of themselves, and wanton eyes, walking and missing as they go. Right, so just like the women of today, they walk around arrogant, entitled, right? Big ass eyelashes with the smoky eyeshadow over it, right? Trying to look mysterious and sexy, right? Walking and mincing, shaking their ass as they go, right? Twinkling with their feet for attention, stumping in their heels for attention, right? Stuck up ass, think too highly of themselves, bitches. Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Okay, cool. Let's jump down. Right? Not put another curse on their ass. Right? He gonna bring them down to a lower state. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. These bitches stink today. There are more feminine products on the shelf today than it was 30 years ago. Today they have products for their products. Okay? Soap and water no longer gets rid of the smell. Usually they could just, put a little rose soaked water on that thing and clean it off. Now they can't. They stink today. And instead of a girdle, a rent. Now let's get into some of these words. I'm gonna duplicate it. Okay. Girdle belt, girdle loin covered belt, loin cloth armor. Okay. So instead of that, say it's gonna be a rent. A tether or a rope. Feminine encircling rope. All right, and let's get that also in the NLT. Okay, instead of smelling a sweet perfume, she will stink. She will wear a rope. Okay, so instead of her having a loincloth on, right, or being covered, she gonna have a rope around her. And her elegant hair will fall out. We all know these bitches bald headed, right? She will wear rough burlap instead of rich robes. Shame will replace her beauty, and it does today. Because they rather wear wigs than their real hair. Because they don't take glory in their real natural hair, which is their covering. They take glory in them wigs. right? And you know, the wig really shows the shame that they have for their natural beauty that was given to them by the Lord. And every time they wear them wigs, what they do, they start pulling out the edges from the glue. Their hair get thin, and natural sunlight doesn't even touch the top of their fucking heads. They don't feel beautiful or come outside without the wig on. The wig gives them their superpower to be beautiful. But they don't know that the wig is a billboard, a sign of their shame. Them big ass eyelashes is a sign of their shame. The makeup is a sign of their shame. Okay? And we see it today. The clothes they wear get thinner and cheaper. They almost wear nothing. They come outside in underwear. Shame will replace her beauty. Specifically, I mean, this goes for the black women, the Latino women, the so-called Latino women, the Indian Native American women, because they're Israelite women, right? They're saying just the nigger woman, right? But we see that specifically for the Judite woman, because you know, with Judah is the head tribe, you know, the vibrations flow. Obesity is the highest among any women. The Judite woman is the fattest bitch on earth. The biggest arms, the biggest legs, the biggest wrists, the biggest ankles, with all of the motherfucking demands in the world. Yeah. Let's get into some more curses. Yeah, man, these bitches stink inside and out. They not only do their bodies stink, their spirits stink. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Jump down to 56. See, because, right, all women are under curses as we are under curses. Right? Now, this is Deuteronomy 28:56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not have ventured to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. So this is saying the tender woman who would not step foot, who would not put her bare feet on the ground because she's so soft and tender. That woman is going to change. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So at one point, this woman was so tender, she wouldn't even step outside barefoot, because she was so tender. She was so delicate. She was so soft. But she gonna turn the evil eye towards the husband of her bosom, her heart, her chest, and toward her son and toward her daughter. And we see it. Children raised in single in homes with only women grew up to be some of the worst people ever. Of any race. Right? But we know that women leading the home more applies more to the Israelite women, right? So-called Black, Hispanic, Native American women, right? It says menstruating women will give birth to monstrous children, right? And it's because the Lord has ordained Esau to do these things, and he's done them. And our women have drinking of that cup. Our men have as well. But damn sure our women love nobody more than they love Esau. It's the same thing. Even that serpent in the garden kicking the shit, talking, getting to know each other, same thing today. Esau's biggest weapon is the black woman, the Judite woman. So I just want to do a quick lesson on that today. I come across these videos all the time, and Eve always doing some stupid shit, so I'm sure another lesson will be coming up soon. But on that note, I'll just leave it at that now. Until next time, I say shalom, 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 kwam yasharallah.